Hello, my dear seekers. This is Carrie. Welcome back to the Healing Corner. September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. This is a very important topic to not just me, but to all of us. But also, as an astrologer, I love the month of September because it is Virgo season. And Virgo season is the season for healing and taking care of our daily activities. The reason why I also like September because it is my birthday month. So I have the whole time to celebrate life. But many of us, not just because of the pandemic, it's becoming very challenging to keep our mental wellness intact. I want you to understand the topic of suicide is very important, not just with ourselves, but with our communities and families. As a mental health professional, I can tell you, it is the most traumatic experience to think that at least one day, it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter how hard you work, one of your client or your patient will take their lives. And you're going to ask yourself, should I have done more? Did I miss the sign? So I'm here with you guys so that we can remove the stigma around it and just start talking about suicide. As a mental health professional, we always want to teach our client, but everyone else, that mental illness, there is a correlation between mental illness and suicide. But there are also other factors like loss, poverty, calamities, and right now we're living in a pandemic. And I guarantee you, when it comes to people of colors, for our Black and brown sisters, we still don't have the statistics. But because of the disparity in healthcare, because of access to our healthcare system, a lot of people don't have jobs. We will have data later on about the suicide numbers when it comes to people of color, probably years, maybe 2 or 5 years from now. This is very important for us to start to talk about this. As a mental health professional, I don't lose my mind when I have a client say, I am thinking about killing myself and hurting myself. There's always a difference when you assess someone. Someone can have suicide ideation, that's how we call it. It just means that they have suicidal thoughts. They are thinking about taking their own lives. That is very different for someone who actually has a plan. Someone who knows that I'm going to do A, B, C, D to take my own life. When that's the case, when I assess a client or when you assess a family member, when that person tells you, I am going to take my knife, I'm going to kill my girlfriend, I am going to have a gun, now you know that that person has a plan. And I urge you, when someone has a plan, you can no longer keep the privacy. Confidentiality goes out of the door because you have to protect that person. That's when you call 911, okay? But when you have suicidal ideation, I want you to talk to your therapist, your friend that you trust, your family member, and call the suicidal prevention hotline. Remember, I am going to put more information in the more section of the video so that you can check to get more statistics and more information. So I want to educate you on suicide prevention, right? We have to know as a community, as a country, that we need to provide more access to healthcare. Mental wellness should not be a privilege. We should all have the right to take care of our mental wellness just the same way we take care of our physical, spiritual, or financial wellness. You have to make this your priority. If you don't, as an individual, you are doomed, because think about all the things we're going through. But also think about it as citizen. the way you vote. You have to understand that if you don't have insurance, if insurances are taking over, guess what? We are making and discussing about healthcare like it's a privilege. It shouldn't be a privilege. It is a human dignity. I also want us to understand that we have to dismantle the system that's not providing adequate health insurance, a system that is taking away the lives of Black and brown individuals. Indeed, Black Lives Matter, right? We have to understand that people need a living wage. They shouldn't work for $7 an hour and then we expect them to take care of the families. These are the systems that we have to dismantle. But I want you to understand that we also have to dismantle the system around our belief and our cultures, our beliefs and culture. Believe me, I am African. We have beautiful cultures, and whatever you're coming from, you also have a beautiful culture. But I've heard sometimes from my clients, depending where they're from, they could be American, European, African, Caribbean, there's always the stigma around mental illness. So when someone is suicidal, I've heard some people who have been told that they have demons, or they've been told they're weak. I have to remind you, you are not weak when you have suicidal ideation. Or even if you're attempting to take your own life, you don't have demons. I do want you to use your spirituality, your religion, and whatever makes you feel comfortable to help you in your mental wellness journey. But I want you also to think critically about the poison that we keep taking and that prevent us from asking help. I want also, not just as a mental health professional, but as an individual, as a human being, I want us to understand that we have to invest in protective factors. And what are the protective factors? I know right now it's very challenging because of the pandemic. You're going to have to create communities and connection with human beings. You have to be active in your life. You have to create a healthy lifestyle. Just eating healthy is not enough. You have to work out. You have to have a spiritual path, whatever that you choose, that works for you, whatever can guide you to the process of healing. You need touch. Touch is very healing. My heart goes to all the people who have lost their lives and the lives of the loved one during the pandemic. One story after another one. I heard people who had to go to on Zoom to just pay the last respect. Even I experienced the same thing during the pandemic. So please take care of yourself because these are challenging times. But you have to be in touch. You are not alone. Ask for help. Make your mental wellness your priority. Fight the system that is teaching you that you should not focus on yourself. You should not focus on your mental wellness. And I'm going to leave you with a beautiful greetings by the Zulu Tribe in South Africa. I wrote it down. It says SAWUBONA. And SAWUBONA just means I see you, you are important to me, and I value you. Think about it. We all want to hear this from our loved one, from our friend, but sometimes you have to tell that to yourself if there's no one to remind you this. So, my dear seekers, please take care of yourself. I am still writing. I am not talking about my poetry at this time because I think I'm writing my poetry book. I'm working really hard. So hopefully before the end of this year, I'll have a book. This is again my way of taking care of my mental wellness. What is your way of taking care of your mental wellness? Okay, so I want you to think about that. I want you to invest and take that time. So I'm going to leave you. Please comment, subscribe, share if you feel like this is very important, not just to you, to your community and your loved one. We're going to take one deep breath and we're just going to release. Okay? Inhale, exhale. Thank you. I'll see you next month. Happy healing to you. Bye.